Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. For anyone who's new today, my channel's about how me as a single mum and a single granny has gained value back for myself, self-respect, and feel that I'm valued and loved. Now, gaining my self-respect back, it can conjure up an idea that I've totally done it by myself. Well, I haven't done it by myself. This might come as a shock to you. I've done it through the help of good friends, yes, and thank you very much, good friends, but also I've done it through my faith and help from the Lord God, the God of the Bible. So, today, I thought I'd introduce you to the first two verses of the Bible. Now, in the first book, which is a very important book, because it told me some things about why I am here and my identity as a human being. But let's keep things simple, because I'm going to read the first two verses and I'm going to show you let me put it this way, sorry to diverse off a little bit, but God speaks to us through his word in the Bible. And you might think, well, Lisa, come on, that seems a bit strange, doesn't it? Well, what I would say to you is give it a go. Start reading the Bible. And when we read the Bible, we can ask ourselves a couple of questions. Who is God speaking to? Is he speaking to those people a few thousand years ago? But is he speaking to us today? And more importantly, is he speaking to Lisa here? And the question is yes. The Bible is relevant today as it was thousands of years ago. But this morning I read Genesis chapter 1 verses 1 and 2. And I'm going to read it to you, and then I'm going to break it down, and I'm going to apply it to my life as a single mum and what I got out of these words that have helped me in my life. And with regards to feeling lonely and isolated and depressed when I was first a single mum, and it was a battle. So let's begin. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. So these words God gave to the people, the Hebrews, thousands of years ago. He was speaking to them, this group of people he got together. And he was telling them that God created everything, and including you. And that has implications on our life, doesn't it? So this is my notes this morning. When I was reading this, I thought, right, what do I get out of it? Thinking selfishly. So I asked myself, as I've told you, who is God speaking to here? And as I said, he was speaking to the Hebrews. And then I thought, well, is he speaking to me as well? Can I get something out of this? And I came with the answer, well, yes, I can. And these people that he was speaking to that this was a new word to them. This was a new teaching to them. Lots of the tribes around them thought there was more than one God, and they had to do things like sacrifice children to keep the gods happy. But this is the beginning of the true God, and this God is totally different to the other pagan gods around this group of people at the time. And that's still the same today. So how is this relevant to my life? Excuse me while I just look off to the side because I've made some notes. So when I was reading this, what did I discover myself? Well, I thought in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. And I thought, he's beyond my intellectual abilities. He's absolutely awesome. He's made something from nothing. Who is this God? He's made the earth. He's put the earth in a place in the heavens, which is, I presume, space. And he's bothered to talk to us human beings about this. This great, awesome God, mind-blowing God, is speaking to humanity. Who are we compared to him, for him to bother to speak to us? There's something special about us, is there? This is what I thought, for this great God to be bothering to speak to me and all people around the world. And then let me just turn over, my notes here. God likes to make things. I can see he's a planner. First of all, looks to me like he had a plan in the first sentence here, the first verse, which is a sentence. And he made the earth, and it was, it didn't have any form, and it was void, and it was dark. So he started off with a foundation there. This is my thinking here. So he works methodically in order. And it looks like he's got a plan and he's going to do something. He's going to turn this formless, dark, deep, scary void, which I don't think anything would have lived on it, into something else, because we couldn't live on this. This void here, it's uninhabitable for any life. But at the end of it, in verse 2, we see that God, he likes to write a story too. He's building up the tension here, and he's doing something. We see, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. Where did the waters come from? That's interesting. So he's doing something. He's going to do something with this dark, deep, horrible, scary type of place that we wouldn't want to live in. So when I look at the earth now, it's totally the opposite to this beginning. It's magnificent, it's beautiful. Look at my lovely flowers here. Nature is beautiful, isn't it? The skies and the seas and the earth. And how do we get from that formless, uninhabitable place to this magnificent, life-sustaining, beautiful place, which is our home and where we can live? Was it built especially for us? I asked myself. I'm sort of thinking here. So this is what you can do when you read the Bible. Think, is God speaking to me? So I'm a single mum and you're a single mum and a single granny, and you're a granny too, if I'm speaking to you. So for me as a single mum, when I was first a single mum, I really didn't know God. I believed in him, and I'll tell you more about that another time, but I didn't realise that God made me. And my life as a single mum felt like this place in verse 1, this formless dark void, this earth. That's how my life felt. I felt there was no purpose. It was just depression and sadness all the time. So the first couple of sentences in Genesis here, I can relate that to my life when I was first a single mum. I felt unloved, unvalued, unworthy, and I was in a dark place. But as we see in verse 2, the last sentence, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. Well, unbeknownst to me at the time, God was hovering around me. He was doing some planning and organising. He was going to turn the darkness in my life into something better. He had a plan for me. My life wasn't formless. I felt like it was, but it wasn't. I felt I was in a dark void, but he was there to pull me out of the dark void and to change my life. And all I needed to do was to ask him into my life. And throughout my life, especially as a young woman, God was giving me gifts and abilities that I can use in my life. And those gifts and abilities, whether it's my art or teaching English, which I'll talk to you more about, or whatever it is, at that time in that dark place, he was giving me gifts and abilities. He was keeping me safe. He was going to transform me. And I'm not saying I'm perfect, because God is working in us all the time. He's getting us to that place to be with him again. So he brought me out of the darkness and into the light, and I realised that I am loved. We all are loved by God. No matter what we feel, we think, or we think we feel, we're all loved by him. And I challenge you to start reading the Bible. Start reading it. Sit there with a pen and paper and think, what is God trying to say to me? So I hope you've enjoyed my little Bible study. Sorry I'm turning left to right. I'm not great with the camera, but I'll get better as time goes on. But God bless you, and I will be reading next week, I should think, the verses 3 and what God does in the next couple of verses. So if you're interested in learning a bit more, stick around and like and subscribe. It really helps, and I appreciate it. And have a jolly good day and look after yourself. God bless. Bye for now.